Hello everyone, and welcome to another weekly hot topic where today we're going to be talking about what does feminine rising mean to you. This is a juicy topic. So I'm Natasha Harris.
And I'm Lucy Brand, and we're the co-founders of the Circle of Light movement.
Yeah. And so today's topic is really all about really understanding what does the divine feminine mean, rising within us. What does it mean to you? What doesn't it mean? And if you're watching live, then please do come and say hello. Let us know where you're watching from. If you are watching the replay, please type #replay and just post in the comments and let us know any questions or thoughts or musings or synergies that you kind of come up with today. So we really want to talk about what does the divine feminine mean, because we sometimes have a little bit of a sense of what it means, and we just really want to support you in understanding how we can support you to helping it rise.
Yeah, so and everyone, like, there is this school of thought, I think, in some places that like the feminine, the feminine needs the masculine and the masculine needs the feminine, and it is actually about I feel that the feminine rising is actually about the feminine taking a seat at the table, because my understanding, my belief is that we've just come out of like centuries and centuries and centuries, thousands of years of patriarchy and hierarchies where men are put at the top.
Yeah.
And now we've switched into the new paradigm, which is so exciting, but why everything is a little bit crazy on planet Earth right now, because we're shifting. But we're in the new paradigm now, which is the age of Aquarius, which is more of a feminine rising sign. So what I see is the balance of the scales, tipping to be more equal, because the new paradigm is about equality, it's about unity, it's about collaboration, it's about love. It's not about competition, it's not about hierarchies and patriarchies and someone at the top. And that's what I see the feminine rising is, just for us to come back in balance, so we can all be in harmony together, the feminine and the masculine, because it is the feminine and the masculine within us. We have the divine feminine and the divine masculine in everyone, no matter what gender you were born as or whatever. You've always got feminine and masculine, and within you it's a dance. So sometimes there might be more of your feminine traits that come to the forefront, or sometimes there might be more of your masculine ones, which tend to be attached to taking action, is more of the masculine one, and the feminine one is a bit more of being and following your intuition. But in order to manifest what you desire, you need both. Yes. And I think for a long time now, we've been stuck in the pushing and striving to make our dreams happen. And it's been hard. It's been really tough, to be honest with you, especially if you are a woman, because that's not how we're wired. We just look at our monthly cycles. We have dips. We're like this. We're not Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. Like we've tried to fit ourselves into these very masculine structures, but now they're falling away. And so this is a great opportunity for us to come together, the masculine and the feminine. We go, what works for you? What supports you? How can we do this? The collaboration, new parent, how can we do this together? And that's what the feminine rising means to me.
Yeah, I think that's so important as well. It's like the doing it together creates the balance. It's that when we're striving and pushing to do things on our own, we really do tip into just being in the masculine energy. And as Lucy said, we've been doing that for so long, and I think we've forgotten how to blend the two together. And I think a lot of times in spirituality as well, what's happening is it's like become weighted towards being purely the divine feminine, only solely the divine feminine. And it's beautiful to be in the divine feminine energy, where we're connected to source, when we're connected to the wisdom that we hold within, when we're connected to our soul energy, our soul power, who we are at source level, then that's really powerful. But we don't want to hang out there all the time, because that's not how we create in the 3D. We can't create in the 3D if we're only hanging out in the quantum field and everything else. It's like, how do we marry those two fields, those two energies together in balance and harmony. And something that was coming up for me recently was around, you know, well, when we go into masculine, or if we're listening to the divine, we're kind of like, oh, we've got a spark of idea, and then we go, oh, okay, great, let's get into the masculine, let's get busy, let's get going, let's do this. And we're only in masculine at that point. And it's like, how do we actually continue to allow that flow of divine feminine in as we're in masculine? That's the difference between masculine and divine masculine energy, because they're both divine. Not one is good, one is bad. They both come from divinity. They are both a part of us. And how we can allow ourselves to walk on this planet Earth, on our path, our destiny, what we want to create, how we're doing it, like with equal balance in both, as much as we can. Can't do it all the time, but as much as we can.
Yeah, I love that. I absolutely love it. Yeah, so many times actually we think of being in the masculine and the doing and the doing and doing, but it's not actually the divine masculine. Yeah, that's so beautiful. And how can you marry the two? For me, actually, marrying the two would be, when I am going into action, I make sure I take regular breaks to go and walk in the woods or connect with nature. So I create the space to hear the wisdom of my intuition in what to do next. Because the thing is, with this dance, I feel like you don't need to know the whole plan. Like, you really don't. You can just feel your way into it and then do what feels good. Like, everyone teaches that in the spiritual world. It's like, follow your bliss, follow your pleasure, do what feels good. Yeah. So if you're busying yourself away, working hard, action, getting this done, and you're not taking breaks and you're so tired and stressed, it's going to be so challenging to manifest the results that you desire and deserve from that space. Yeah. Whereas if you take regular breaks and you surrender to it and get excited by it and create, and then sometimes it might be like you're taking action, then it's like, this doesn't feel good actually, and then you take a break, you get another divine idea, inspiration, like, actually I need to curve this way, and then woof, off you go. Like, because it is a dance, it is a flow. Like, it doesn't have to be. But again, I think we're so used to strategy, marketing plans. I've got to have it all figured out, every single goal. And it's just, life doesn't work like that, because it can throw you curveballs. And then when those curveballs come, if it doesn't fit into your plan, sometimes we can be a bit like, how do I deal with this? The way you deal with that is you're like, everything is unfolding for my highest good. And it might be that your desire isn't manifesting right now, not because you've done anything wrong or you're a bad person or you don't deserve it, because I'm a massive believer in divine timing. It might just not be the right time. It really might. Or it's not the right time. It's not for your highest good at that moment in time, or the highest good of someone else. If, like, you're trying to manifest a lover or a house or whatever it might be, there might be some other pieces on the chessboard that need to be moved before your desire can be fulfilled.
Yeah, no, I love that as well, because sometimes we think it's our sole responsibility to create it. And if it's not happening, what's wrong with me? Why am I not getting it? Why is everyone else getting it? Like, what's going on? Like, come on, universe. And we forget we're co-creators. We are dancing a dance, and there are other dancers in the room. So it not only has to be divine timing for us, we could be in perfect alignment, but the thing we're trying to manifest, the person we're trying to bring into our sphere, isn't quite there. It's like everything needs to come into divine alignment, not just you. So this is where we need to stay in alignment, and where most of us then go, it's not here, I'm doing something wrong. We shift direction and we head off somewhere else, and the co-creator is like going, oh, but I was nearly ready, where did you go? And you've done a runner, you're like totally out the picture. So this is where we really need to really lean into trust you know, and stop getting in our heads. You know, Lucy said it as well, you know, we don't need to know the entire plan. We don't know the timing. We don't know it because we don't know what is going on for the other players in the other dancers in the room, the other players in the co-creation. And we need to lean into trust that it's happening. And if you feel aligned, it's coming. Just be patient and send out more love. Do some extra inner work and stay in that beautiful divine alignment. Connect with source, connect with the divine feminine, and take action that's aligned to that. This is the rising as we kind of break free from the old ways of doing things into this beautiful new harmony. And as Lucy said at the very beginning, to this beautiful balance, this dance of co-creation with divine feminine, divine masculine, and everyone else in the picture.
Oh, yeah, I love that. And I feel like also there's so much healing that can happen when we embrace both. You know, I wouldn't be the woman I am today without my husband. Like, he's been so supportive on so many levels. And he was actually the key for me falling in love with myself. So it's like, and I'm not sure. I mean, I think it would have taken me a lot longer to get there if it wasn't for him. So even you can see it play out in this physical 3D relationships, like where someone has to step up because the other one is struggling. Like, and again, this doesn't have to be male female relationships. This could be same-sex relationships, you know, because we, as I mentioned before, we both have divine feminine and divine masculine within us. And so, like, I find that sometimes that can be a bit of an abstract thought, the divine feminine, the divine masculine. So then I bring it down into my relationships, into my life. And then sometimes it's like, actually, I'm stepping too much into my masculine there, my divine masculine, and I need to pull back because I'm not honoring the divine feminine within me. Or it might be sometimes, because I mean, as I definitely am a woman. Like, I definitely have some shadow woman traits, divine feminine traits. So sometimes, you know, I can be, they can start coming up because I'm not honoring the divine feminine within me. It's not coming from an empowered place. It's coming from a place of fear or lack. So it's so beautiful to do that, like have that exercise and look at things. And if it's not feeling good to you, then I would invite you to look at how you perhaps stepping too much into a masculine in this situation or too much into a feminine, and how do you bring it back into balance so that you can feel fulfilled and happy.
Yeah, I love that as well. And I think it's really important, as you were talking there, Lucy, to remember that when we're talking about the divine masculine and the divine feminine, this isn't what we might think with our head. It is the energetic essence, the energetic frequency of divine feminine, which is softer, more connected to source. It's more connected to wonder. It's the things that we can't understand with our minds because it plays in the quantum field. It's when something just shows up and you're like, oh, like what happened there? That's you playing in the divine feminine energies, but also doing something in the divine masculine energies that's created it in the physical reality. So the energy of doing is aligned. It's got a frequency that is aligned to the thing you want to manifest and bring into the reality. So it's the energetic quality of it. So I think sometimes we can get a little bit, but I don't identify with feminine and masculine. It's not about identifying with that. It's about identifying with the energies. And I think that sometimes maybe perhaps we almost need to find a different word for it because we get stuck in our head about what feminine and masculine mean. But remembering the energetic resonances of those qualities of what they mean and how you show up and what you're connecting with. And it is very much, you know, about the balance of the two. We are all, every single one of us on the planet holds these energies, and we create through these energies when we balance them out and we align them and we create manifest in the world. So I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, like, and it could be yin and yang if you don't like masculine and feminine. It could be yin and yang energies. Like, but the thing is that exactly that. Like, even if you look at it from a base level, the woman receives sperm, like from the man, he gives, and then life is created. So even at a base level, this is how it's set up. Like, I know you have science now, so you might not need a man if you want to have a baby or whatever, but at a base level, that's how evolution has happened. So when you can tap into those energies, that dance of receiving and giving and receiving and giving in your life, that's when you're in that dance, that's when it becomes easy to manifest.
Yeah.
That's when it's easy to create in this 3D reality. And for me, that's where the feminine is rising, because we're now joining in the dance. We're not being like sidelined, because like in this 3D reality, men are at the top, like are actually like coming into the dance. We're actually allowed in the ballroom. And I see that more and more happening, whether that's like more women in charge of Fortune 50 companies, or like more billionaire women starting now. Like, I keep an eye on these things. More women in high positions in the tech industry, which is notoriously male dominated. Like, I'm seeing it. It might not be where we want it to be yet, but it's happening. And I think if we could all unite, male, female, non-binary, everyone, into working towards co-creating and unifying, so there just isn't any division. Because again, at a base level, division is the ego mind. Like, the only problem we have is separation, because we think we're separate from someone else, or we're separate from even money, or we're separate from our desires. We're not. It's all within us, and we're all connected in this great matrix of life. And so when you tap into that, that's when it's just, the world's magical. The world's magical. But I feel like we need a little bit of, you need to consciously create. So start looking at these things, start populating the, I don't know, whatever you read or whatever you look at, where you see these beautiful divine masculine and feminine dances happening with these energies, where you're like, oh, the feminine is rising. Things are getting equal. I know we've got a long way to go. And there's not, I mean, this is just on the divine feminine and masculine. So I know there's other areas where there's not equality as well. But like, I feel like for the first time, I feel in my life, I feel we are heading that way. Whereas there was times before where I just felt, I was like, what is going on? Because we are going backwards. But I actually feel like things are starting to change and shift.
Yeah, there is definitely a shift that I feel and I can tap into. And the word magical, as you said it, I was like, oh, the word magical is coming up. This is where we really do step into the magical, where we create from the magical, but we're creating in the third dimensional reality of things. And we are creating that shift. And, what we talk, Lucy and I talk a lot about new earth and the new paradigm, and especially in our community. And I think that we are co-creating it. We are all contributing to that. So it's not a matter of waiting until we understand what the new paradigm looks like. And then, okay, well, now we know what to do, because the mind wants to know before we make a start. How do we do it? It's about trying it on. It's around really starting to embody it in small ways, in different ways, through your relationships, through your partnerships, through your business partnerships. Lucy and I have learned so much about how to embody this through working together and creating the Circle of Light movement and our community membership. It's really around how we do this together now. How do we take steps on that journey? How do we play in the divine feminine energies, and how do we play in the divine masculine energies? How do we find our unique, beautiful sense of balance and create from that place? And then all holding hands, let's walk towards it. Not everybody will join. Not everybody will want to join. People will join at the ends, or in a month's time, or in a few months' time, or in years to come. But we can co-create it now, even though we don't know what it looks like, even though we haven't got it all figured out yet, but let's try.
Yeah, I love that. Like, let's try, like, play with it, have some fun with it. Like, this is times to really be light with things and play with things, because it really is a time where all bets are off. Like, anything can happen. And especially like in 2022, I think the reason I felt the shift so much is because the number 2 represents divine timing and trust and faith. So it's really beautiful energies that it's all working out for you. You've just got to believe.
Yeah. And if you don't, come hang out with people who do believe, or who have more of a belief and can hold your hand towards believing in yourself. And that when we all wobble, because we're human and we all do, no matter how much we like to say that we've got it sorted, there's always a wobble somewhere. And it's about finding that person who can hold you in that and guide you, show you the light towards what you're trying to create. I know I would rather dance in that, for sure. Head towards that. Maybe it's unknown. Maybe I don't have it all figured out with my head, what it looks like, but I know that that's the direction I'd rather be traveling in. So
yeah, we really wanted to share with you as well. We're very, very excited. But we're going to be delivering a 3-part series masterclass, Divine Masterclass, where we're going to be talking about some more issues like this and topics on this. But we're also going to be sharing with you some powerful healings and helping you to move through some things. The links in the description, they're free. And yeah, we would love for you to join us. I know that in our membership group, I did a very powerful healing on healing the masculine to manifest your dreams on Tuesday. It was amazing. And so there will be more things like that, more things about healing, and Natasha with the Akashic records and meditations and visualizations. And we will be channeling wisdom as well, like, because a lot of this stuff we channel, you know, we find, well, I don't know, I can't speak for Natasha, but I find out a lot of things when I speak there, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool, because I just, like, I didn't know that until I just channeled it, you know.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely. And I've, oh, sorry, Lucy, say that again.
Go on.
No, you're out of breath. So yeah, I was just going to say, I've already seen a couple of sign-ups to the event already. So the link is in the post above or below, wherever it appears. If you can't find it, or you're not sure, if it doesn't work for any reason, then give us a shout, send us a private message. And yes, sign up on our website, www.circleoflightmovement.com, to our newsletter. Receive 2 powerful healings there as well if you can't come to the live event, so you can still get a little bit of a feel for how Lucy and I work together. And there's some more information on there about our community membership, which we will be opening doors to very shortly. We are just working on a little bit of back end stuff, but we're really excited to be welcoming new members in very soon. So if you've got any questions at all, I forgot to ask as we were chit-chatting, if you've got any questions, please post them in the comments, send us a DM. Let us know how you found today. What did you take from today's little hot topic around what does the feminine rising mean to you? What does it mean to you? Let us know in the chat. Let us know in the comments. And we will see you again next week for another weekly hot topic.
Have a lovely week, and we'll see you soon.
Lots of love.